What's going on, dispatchers? This is your favorite freight dispatch trainer, Antoine West, back at you guys with another live video. So during tonight's live, what I want to speak to you guys about is why freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle, right? Freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle in my belief. I'm going to go over several reasons tonight why I believe freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle. I'm also going to go over some valuable insights from my own experience to help you guys out. But before we get started with that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for 50,000, for letting me reach 50,000 subscribers, right? I couldn't have done this without you guys. Each and every one of you hitting that subscribe button has gotten me to 50,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for that. And also, I'm doing a 50% off sale for reaching 50,000 subscribers. This was because of you guys. So I want to give you guys 50% off any and everything on my website. So you guys see the ticker down below. If you use coupon code 50K2023, you're going to be able to save 50% off of anything on my website, right? This is the business that took me off my full-time job. And I believe you can make more money in freight dispatching right now than any other time, right? You can make more money now than any other time, right? So if you haven't started this business, it's not too late. Now's the time to start. And today and tomorrow, you can save 50% off of any course I have on my website. So make sure you guys head over to my website, antoinewest.biz. Like I said in today's video, I'm going to let you guys know the exact reasons why freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle. And I'm going to let you guys know of an idea that I thought of when I first started my freight dispatch company back when I was failing. I had a thought, and I call this my $1 million thought. If it wasn't for that thought, I wouldn't have made my business a success. I wouldn't be able to train and mentor other people for their business to be a success, because I wouldn't even have started this business. And I think by giving you guys this thought, letting you guys know what came up to me, and that really changed my business, and it changed like my life forever, because it allowed me to become successful in this business, attracting some owner operators, start attracting some clients into my business. And of course, attracting clients is attracting cash flow. So it let me start making some money in my business, and that really changed up my lifestyle. Like I tell you guys probably in a lot of my videos, if not almost all of them. But before I started this business, I was living paycheck to paycheck. And I like to always put that information out there to you guys, just in case it's people that were in my situation. And just in case you're in my situation now, you know, if you're out there, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, I think this business is definitely for you, because it is the business that can take you off your full-time job and give you financial independence. And you know what I call financial independence? I'm going to tell everybody what you, as a business owner, what you are wanting to do. At the end of the day, what you want and what most people want is financial independence, right? But I'm going to define financial independence as being able to make income, being able to provide for yourself using your own mind. Basically, that's what I feel like everyone wants. When we think a little bit deeper and we think about what we're looking for, people say they want to make money, they want to make a certain amount of money, or they want to make $100,000 a year or more than that. But at the end of the day, I believe what we're all looking for is to be able to make money with your own mind, with your own ideas, right? Ever since I was school age and going to school, having to go to school, I listened in school, but the thing is, when I was in school, I could tell school was just teaching me how to grow up and work for other people. It was teaching me how to listen, remember things, and grow up and be a good worker, right? But since I was a kid in school, I only wanted to make money with my own mind. I always wondered, how do you make money with your own ideas? I don't want to have to go to other people, right? I definitely don't want to have to go into a job and clock in and be there the time they tell me to be there. Or if you're in my case, I always had the jobs where the managers took the credit for the work I did and things like that. Every job I had, it was really the management was the problem, right? Not even the employees, but of course, we all know how it goes. They blame it on the regular employees, but the manager is the problem. So I'm explaining that because when I worked the job, I'm like, man, I don't want to go my whole life. I don't want to be into my 60s and go years and years with listening to other people, listening to managers and directors blame things on me instead of taken up for what they did. All those, like, I knew that would hold me back from the money, right? Having to deal with all those problems every day holds you back from actually making money and getting ahead in life. So I don't got time to waste with jobs and, you know, managers and all that, just the problems you go through with having a job, right? So, and what I'm going to tell you too, when you start your own business, when you start your freight dispatch business, it is actually easier, right? I make a lot more money now than I did on my full-time job, but I feel like my entire life is easier because I'm doing what I want to do, right? Right? That's another thing. You want to be able to make money with your own mind, and you want to be able to do what you want to do. Literally, I do what I want to do every day. It's nobody that tells me what time to do something, where I need to be. It's nobody coming to me about something I did wrong, right? Everything I do is just my own decision, my own idea, and I take action on that idea and I make money. So that being said, that's what I mainly want to teach you guys on how to make money with your own mind, right? And I think freight dispatching is a good way to go. So once again, thank you guys for 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm broadcasting live right now on YouTube and on Facebook. So I thank all you guys. Go to my website. I got a 50% off sale going on for the rest of the day today and tomorrow. So make sure you go to the website, use the coupon code 50K2023, right? So we're going to get into the content of this video today. And like I said, it's why freight dispatching was the #1 side hustle. And let me tell you guys, when I was working jobs, looking for living paycheck to paycheck, all my life, every job I had, I was always in search of a side hustle, of a business. I was just always, years before I started the dispatch business, which was my first business, years before that, I was searching, prowling, because I just knew it was a business out there that was going to take me off my full-time job, allow me to become wealthy, and allow me to have the financial independence that I wanted, right? So when I ran up on freight dispatching, like a lot of you guys, I got so excited when I first heard of it. I, thought about how I could send trucks from one destination to another. I could have trucks running the entire United States, right? So this is the business that I was able to generate wealth. I would say anything I do in life, freight dispatching is because of, right? And the reason I say this is because freight dispatching allowed me to generate enough money, enough cash flow to use in other businesses and put that money into other businesses, and for that to generate me money too. So freight dispatching allowed me to basically have extra money, right? And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, I tell you what the thing is you need extra money. That's what people, if you want to become wealthy, you need a lot more additional extra money for the main thing, through experience, right? So when I'm able to make videos and I'm able to coach people on mentorship phone calls, of course, the subject is dispatching, but I do coach people on building wealth, the right way to think to build wealth, right? Because that's important, right? I know if I just only teach you or only train you for dispatching, if I only tell you lumber goes on flatbed trucks, lumber doesn't go on an enclosed trailer on a drive-in, but lumber, oversized loads go on flatbed trucks and step decks, right? I can tell you that all day long. You can learn that on the internet actually, right? But that's not going to help you build a sustainable business. That's just going to teach you how to be a dispatcher, right? But you want to learn how to build a sustainable business, a business with systems, right? That's able to draw in customers now and on into the future, right? You want to be in business now, and 2, 3, 5 years later, 10 years later, you want to still be in business, right? So I want to teach you how to build a sustainable business, right? But we're going to get into this content. So basically, why freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle. So I'm just going to go over several reasons why freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle. One is a low startup cost. So, right? So when you get into a business, right, a lot of people talk about business funding and business loans. And I believe that's okay further down the line, but straight up, we all know if you don't have any money, if you have $1,000 in your bank account, and then you go out and you get approved for a $25,000 business loan, a $30,000 business loan. We all know what's going to happen to probably all of that money with most people, or majority of that money. it's going to get spent, right? You're going to start spending it on things that's unnecessary. You're going to, make unnecessary transactions just because you got the money easy. You got a big lump sum of money. You got a big business loan. And a lot of times that's what people are looking for. We don't have money, so we're looking for a big business loan, a big lump sum of money, so you feel like you got some money. But the thing is, that's the easy way, and you don't go through the pain of actually earning that $30,000, so you're careless with it, right? So that's the reason I don't believe in business loans. Maybe in the future, after you start your first business and you are generating some cash flow in that business, and you want to start something larger, and you want to use that first business that you built to apply for a business loan, maybe then. But for first time entrepreneurs, first time business owners, I really don't believe in business loans, because I believe most of us pretty much already know most of the time you're just going to want that money to feel like you got some money, right? And that's cool and all, but I'm telling you, it'd be a lot better for you if you learn how to generate the money on your own, right? You'll value that money a lot differently, and you'll hold on to it, and you'll spend it on the right things a lot differently, right? So the thing about this business is a low startup cost. So you don't need to go out and get a business loan to start this business, right? It's a low startup cost. So with this business, your main cost when it comes to your startup cost is going to be your LLC, right? Getting your LLC. And your LLC, the cost of your LLC is going to be different depending on the state where you have residency, where you reside. It's different for each state. But they range in price probably from about $75 or $100 to about $500. Some states are on average, I would say about $150, but some states are $500. Like I believe definitely Texas, unless they went up, they were definitely one of the most expensive states. Last time I checked, Texas was like $300. It might have went up since then, but there are websites in a minute here, I'll leave a website in the chat that will show every cost of LLCs broken down by state. I'm just going to look that up right now so you guys have it. Look that up for you guys. I just want to get that information out. So I'm going to look for this. I might not be able to find it right now, but if I don't see it right now, it's something I do have in my courses. So if you are in my training course, you probably already have seen this. But if I don't think I can find it right now, but what I'll do, I'll leave it in the comments after this video, after we get done with this live tonight, and you guys can go there and get that. So that list, what that list is going to do, it's going to show you how much LLC, a limited liability company, is in each state. And it's going to give you the breakdown by state, so you can just go to that list and look for your state and see how much money you have to pay for your LLC. So if you're just coming into the webinar on why freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle, and I'm talking about the low startup cost. This is the first one. It's a low startup cost. Your highest overhead, your highest startup cost in the beginning will most likely be your LLC, right? Besides your LLC, at the bare minimum, you need DAT load board access. You can go to my website, and my website is antoinewest.biz, as you can see on your screen there. You can go to that website and you can get 30 days free of DAT load board. They have several different packages after the 30 days, and they're all for your choice, but you need at least DAT load board. So your LLC, DAT load board. There are other load boards out there that you can look up, but you don't want too many load boards, because you're not going to be able to look at 5 or 6 different load boards at once. So the most I recommend is about 2 or 3. Truckstop.com is actually also a good one, but they do now want you to have your motor carrier number. So you will have to have a motor carrier number or a DOT number. So that means most likely you will have to have at least one truck or a couple of trucks you're dispatching for. So maybe you can get access under their MC number and DOT number, and then you can just pay for that yourself, right? So they come off your own credit card or debit card, but you'll get access under someone who has an active MC number or DOT number. So the LLC and the load board access, those are 2 of your immediate expenses that you need. You need to get load board access so you can start looking at the load boards and making yourself familiar with the load board. So I recommend doing that as quickly as possible, right? So those are some of your two biggest expenses. Of course, logo, things like that, a website, if you want to get that made, I definitely recommend that. But everything else is optional. But like I said, a logo or website is very highly recommended, but optional. But the bare minimum is, I would say, load board access and your LLC. So that's your startup cost, right? Of course, you can spend more money on advertising, marketing, but you can advertise for free like I did, and then you can pay later on. So not a very big startup cost. It's a low monthly overhead. That load board access that you pay for is about your only mandatory monthly overhead. Besides that, marketing, things like that. If you want to take it a little bit further and spend money on ads or any type of phone systems, let's say you have a business phone line, what I recommend is Grasshopper. You can go to grasshopper.com and get a business phone line. I don't actually have the amount that Grasshopper is right now. I don't have it up, but like I tell my students, just go and look up this information so you can learn for yourself. I'm getting on the Grasshopper website right now as we speak, just to show you guys how easy this is, and just to go look up information yourself. And there's other phone systems besides Grasshopper, right? Grasshopper isn't the only phone system, but what I'll do is I will share my screen. So you guys should be able to see my screen right now. I got the grasshopper.com website up. Looks like you can try it for free. Let's go to try for free. 7-day free trial. A lot of this stuff is free trials on this stuff, guys. So that's what I would at least start off with, the 7-day free trial. We go to pricing just to see how much it is. So as low as $28 a month, this gives you your own business phone line. And with Grasshopper, you're going to be able to use your regular phone number. It's basically an app. So it's an app with the phone number. And when people call you on using the phone number that you get for the app, it's going to ring to your regular phone, but it's going to ring through the app. So you don't have to carry more than one phone on you. And like you can see, the lowest plan right now is $28 per month. One phone number, 3 extensions. You can have up to 3 extensions, so different extensions with this, and unlimited users. So that's grasshopper.com if you guys want to check that out. So just as far as expenses like that, if you don't want a generic, ABC dispatching at gmail.com, I would recommend a business email address. Google has business email addresses, so would also get one of those. You can work from anywhere, right? So when you work a job, you're locked into that job. Most jobs want you to come into a physical location. So you're locked into that job. That's one thing I didn't like about working jobs. I want to be, anything that I do these days, I want to be able to do with a cell phone and a laptop. If I can't make money from my cell phone or laptop, I really don't get into the business, because that would be locking me down to one specific location. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to move around when I want to, right? So, and you have the ability to scale, right? So you can scale. To give a little bit, I was going to talk about my experience a little bit later, but I'll bring it up now with the ability to scale. So what I did, I started out as a dispatcher, and then after dispatching several trucking companies, I went and applied for my own authority, right? Because I learned basically everything about trucking. I didn't have any experience before. I never drove a truck. I still never drove a truck to this day. I don't have my CDL, but I learned from other people, right? And how I learned this, how I learned to learn from other people. Tell you a quick story. Basically, I served in the United States Navy and the United States Army, right? I served in the Navy first. When I got out the Navy, I was a petty officer, second class. I was an E5. That was my pay grade, an E5. I got out for maybe a year or two, and then I went into the Army. But when I went into the Army, since I had been in the Navy like 5 years before, when I came into the Army as an E5, which is a sergeant. So my first day ever in the Army, I was already a sergeant, right? So that's why I learned to sit back and learn from the privates, right? Because I'm new, I'm a sergeant in the Army, but of course there's privates, there's specialists that know a lot more information than I did. So I had to lead them in a way where they would still be respectful of me, but I wanted them to know I didn't know everything. So what my specialists did, they always stepped up. It was like immediately they always stepped up when they knew it was something I probably didn't know. So I'm like, if they know it, I know it. So as a leader, I don't always think I have all the answers, right? So even that helped me out when I came into trucking, even with no prior experience. What I did is I just learned from the owner operators. I just learned from the truck drivers, right? I'm just taking in all the information they tell me, and I'm using that. That's growing my experience. Their experience is my experience, right? So I didn't have any prior experience before, but I learned from dispatching other trucks. And a lot of owner operators do make. I don't think this is something we talk about, all the problems in the trucking industry, but what we don't talk about is the mistakes. A lot of owner operators make a lot of mistakes from day one. Sometimes if you are a dispatcher, if you start one of these business, you will be surprised at after all the money owner operators pay for their truck and trailer, insurance, down payments, insurance, monthly fees, all the securement equipment, just all the different fees it takes to start a trucking business. You would be surprised at how many mistakes owner operators make, and mistakes that could be avoided. I'm talking about those mistakes, careless mistakes, some owner operators. So that would surprise you when you start as a dispatcher. But for me, so what I did is, this is the great thing about being a dispatcher to me. You can dispatch multiple different trucking companies. So me, let's say I'm dispatching 8 different trucking companies, right? 8 different owner operators. It's so much going on. And when I started, I'm just sitting back. I'm learning, like, if the owner operator did something that increases their profit, or they do things a certain way that increases their profit, I'm taking note. If they do something a certain way that I can tell they're losing money from, I'll tell them and I advise them about it. Or I say I have another owner operator, he does it this way, or he does this. And I'll see if they take my advice, but then sometimes they don't take the advice and they just basically do whatever, right? But what I'm trying to point that I want to make to you guys is what I did. The owner operators that were making mistakes in their trucking business, I just wrote them down, just like with the ones that were doing good, I mentally noted it, put it on paper and noted it, or the ones that were doing bad, making mistakes, right? So what that did, when I went out and got my own authority, and when I got my own authority, it's like I pretty much knew the game because I'm sitting back taking notes from the owner operators I'm dispatching for. So when I started my own trucking company, that was profitable from day one, right? And the reason I started my authority, because when I was just dispatching, a lot of owner operators started reaching out to me asking if they can lease on to my authority. At this time, I didn't even have an authority, right? So that's one thing in business. Like I said, I'm always going to teach you guys just business knowledge, general business knowledge. One thing you'll realize in business, your customers are going to tell you the services to add to your business to make more money, because they're going to ask you, do you have this service? Do you have that? So, of course, I started off, one owner operator asked me, can they lease on to my authority, which I didn't even have an authority. Then a second one might have asked me, and a third. And before long, it's like, I'm thinking, I got to get an authority. These owner operators are asking to lease on. So basically, I went from dispatching to getting my own MC number, my own authority, getting my authority active. And what I did, I started leasing on owner operators. So that took me from just charging about 8% to dispatch them, for making like 20 or 25% off of each load. And then that's better too, because they have more skin in the game. And when you're a dispatcher, people can just leave you. Owner operators can leave you anytime they choose. They can't do the same when they're leased on to you, but they got more skin in the game because they're paying for insurance with you. Their MC number is with you. It's not by themselves. You control everything. So an owner operator isn't going to leave you as easy, leave your services as easy when they're leased on to your company. But the thing is, when you lease on a truck driver, lease on a truck to your trucking company, at first, you have to get them set up with your insurance, your motor carrier number. You have to get them signed in under the FMCSA, all these things. But pretty much after you get them set up as leased on up under your trucking company, the normal day-to-day activity is going to be dispatching them. But instead of making that 8% off of dispatching them, you can make like 20%, right? So in trucks, the amount they're going to make every week is going to vary, right? 10,000 is average. It depends on what the industry looking like, what the market looking like. But let's say you're dispatching someone and you're making them $12,000 per week at 8%. That's $960. So if that truck is making $12,000, it's $960. Rates have went down a little bit these days. So I'm going to take that down to $10,000. So you making that truck $10,000, right? That's $800 a week for you, right? If you're bringing them in $10,000, right? But let's say you have them leased on at 20% and then you make them $10,000. That's $2,000 to you, right? But of course, leased on is business, right? So of course, leased on, you're making a larger percentage off of them, and you got to equate that into the equation, that 20%. So when I have people leased on, I'm always going to try to increase their revenue, right? Because if I don't, if they're not making any money with me, they're going to leave, right? And then I'm going to constantly have to try to find new owner operators to lease on, right? I want to keep the customers, even when I'm dispatching. I want to keep the owner operators that I have at the time, but I want more coming in the door all the time. Same with leasing owner operators on, right? So it's not much different. So what I recommend to my students is start off as a dispatcher, but then start your own like lease on trucking company where you're leasing on owner operators and you're making a percentage off of them. But what you do is you go out and you start finding direct shippers and all those things. You know, they're driving, they're getting your loads for your company, basically moved from point A to point B. And during that time, you should be at home or you should be out. Sometimes I've even flown. This is after I started making money. You know, all this money to fly places is a business expense and a tax write-off. But I've even flown to where I have owner operators at, and I've already got a list of direct shippers before I get there. And instead of calling, I'm walking in there. So those are the type of things I'm doing for my owner operators to make sure they're always profitable. So these are just things as to why freight dispatching is the number one side hustle. I got a lot more to go. Even my secret as to why I became profitable in this business. And this secret I'm going to give you guys, nobody knows it. I would say like 95% of people don't know this, but I'll say, especially if you're new to freight dispatching, the secret, what I'm going to give you guys, what I'm going to tell you guys here in a few moments will help out your business tremendously, right? So what I'm going to tell you, if you do this, it's no doubt you will become successful, right? You can make $30,000 a month in this business if you do what I'm going to tell you. And it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. If you do what I tell you, you will be successful because it's what I did, right? It's what I did to go from living paycheck to paycheck to making over $20,000 per month in this business, right? And you can also take what I'm going to tell you along to other businesses, right? Don't forget, guys, I got that 50% off sale going on my website, right? You can save 50% on any of my training and mentorship programs. My elite program is originally $2,400, right? But you save 50% off if you purchase while I have this deal going on, right? And with that elite program, I'm going to be working with you 3 entire months, right? We're going to be working together 3 months. We're going to have weekly mentorship. We're going to be talking 30 minutes a week, right? 30 minutes a week. It can be by phone call, regular Zoom phone call. So we're going to be talking 30 minutes a week. So you guys, if you're watching from your TV, you can scan that QR code right there. It'll take you exactly to my elite program where you can save 50% off, right? So you're going to get 5 hours of freight dispatch training, right? You're not going to have to search the internet. You're not going to have to watch video after video after video. You can sit down. You can watch an hour here or hour there. It's all self-paced. Whenever you want to watch it, you're going to have 5 hours of freight dispatch training. And this is going to give you all the information straight up. You know, just all the information. I got quizzes in there to test you on the information. But it's going to give you all the information in a 5-hour video that you can watch whenever you want to from your cell phone, from your laptop, right? Then you're also going to get for free. I'm going to give you for free. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my custom website design. So I'm going to be making a custom website specifically for you, right? To match your company colors, your brand. I'm going to give that to you for free. It's on me, right? With that elite program. Also, you're going to get my Facebook business page training. That's an additional hour-long training, right? You guys want to market your business online, right? Freight dispatching is an online business where you can work from home, and you need to learn how to market that business online. And Facebook is one of the best places to market your business, right? Because you need to go to where your target audience is. Your target audience are owner operators, truck drivers, right? So out of all the social media platforms, I believe truck drivers or owner operators are on Facebook more than any other platform. So with that elite program, you're going to also get my Facebook business page training, and you're going to get information of how to attract owner operators where they are. Target audience. This is something else we need to think about when we're trying to attract clients in freight dispatching. You want to go to where your target audience is. Your target audience as a freight dispatch business owner, your target audience is owner operators, and most of them are on Facebook. And you're going to get a free Facebook training with my elite program. Also, you can check it out on the screen now, my value plan. This is my $50 per month program. If you enroll in this program, you're with this coupon code, with coupon code 50K2023, you're going to save $25 a month. It's going to be cut in half to $25 a month. So with that program, you get 6 weeks of freight dispatch training, and then after that we have monthly mentorship. And what we do during that monthly mentorship, I will be giving out the best information I have, right? If you guys continue to be on this live tonight, I'm going to continue to give out more information on this live. But what I do during my value plan, when we have that monthly mentorship, I'm going to give you the most information I know, right? And I'll be honest, how it goes with me, even when I'm on a phone call with a student in my elite or enhanced program, where I'm talking to you one-on-one, I might think of some of the best ideas right there on the phone call, right? I know you guys get a lot of information from me on my recorded videos and on my live videos. I'm going to start doing more of these live videos. But I'm going to tell you guys how it works with me. I can get off this live tonight and just think of one of the best ideas ever, right? So I'm always thinking of better ideas, more ideas for you guys. So that's why I honestly came up with this value plan. So before I came up with my value plan, all my courses was thousands of dollars. And then I was sitting at home one day and I'm thinking, I want to be able to give people a way to take one of my courses and to make money if they don't have thousands of dollars to spend, right? So with this program, you can't necessarily work with me one-on-one. We're not going to be speaking one-on-one for 30 minutes every week like my enhanced and elite programs. But with this program, you only pay $50 a month. First 6 weeks is freight dispatch training. And then after that, we have one monthly mentorship meeting a month. That's usually somewhere around at least an hour long. And I give out more information for only $50, right? And my plan, even when I'm giving those mentorship meetings, what my goal is to do is to give out, you're paying, I know you are just paying me $50 a month, but my plan is to give you way more value. My plan is to give you $5,000 worth of value in each of those monthly mentorship meetings. And if you use it, you can manifest that cash value into your business, right? If you take, because wealth comes from information, wealth comes from knowledge, right? So what I want to be able to do, just like I'm doing on this live video, I want to be able to give you money. I want to be able to give you information that you can use and act on that information. Of course, you actually have to act on the information, right, to be able to attract cash flow. Because if you just take in the information and don't do anything with it, you're not going to go and get anywhere, right? So my goal is to be able to give out information, right, to people and for them to use that information to make money. So during my value plan, after those 6 weeks of freight dispatch training, the longer you enroll, the more information I'm going to be giving out. So if you want to cancel after 3 months, that's fine. You'll have the training and you have one mentorship meeting. But if you're like some people, if you want to hang in there a year, just like some people have, I started this program about a year ago. Some people have hung in there a year, right? And what those people have been able to skyrocket their business because they're just getting information, more information from me every month. But with using that coupon code saving 50%, you're only paying $25 per month. So if you enroll in that program now, you're going to pay $25 per month for the low cost of $25. That's not much at all to go through a freight dispatch training program, right? So I see a couple people have joined already. Hey, appreciate it, guys. I see the people that have joined so far. Hey, check it out. Check it out. Like I said, that $50 per month program, you do not get any mentorship with that program, right? You don't get any direct you do get, excuse me, you get mentorship, but it's monthly group mentorship, not one-on-one mentorship, right? So for the people that join that $50 per month pro program, if you join right now, I'm going to say about the next 5 people that join that program, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a free 15-minute consultation to your course, right? So if you join within, I've got about room for 5 people. If you want the next 5 people to join, I'm going to add for free. You don't have to pay anything. You only pay $25 per month. I'm almost thinking this is too good to do, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I said it. So for the next 5 people that join my value plan for only $25 a month, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a free 15-minute consultation where we can talk about stuff like I'm talking about tonight, but you can ask me specific questions that you have, right? Specific questions about you and your business that get you even further than just me talking to a general audience on live. I'm going to keep rolling. I'm going to keep rolling into this training. But like I said, guys, for the next 5 people to sign up for my $50 per month program, I'm going to give you a direct 15-minute phone consultation. If we want, it can be over Zoom so we can both see each other and things like that. All right, let's move on into the training. Like I said, the next 5 people. All right, look like I have one. I have Ann. And thank you for that purchase. I'm going to keep monitoring my screen and see who's purchasing in. I did also see a purchase for that elite program. Someone purchased that elite program that's originally $1,200. That's originally $24. Somebody purchased it for $1,200. So I appreciate you too. Thank you. I'm going to keep checking my screen and see who buys into that program. And like I said, thank you guys. And I definitely add a free mentorship meeting into your training. So go to my website, guys, enroll in any of my trainings for 50% off right now. Make sure you do that. Scan that QR code there on your screen to get that 50% off. And when you scan that QR code, make sure you enter the coupon code 50K2023. But back into it, Why Freight Dispatching is the owner side hustle to start right now. Another reason is no MC number, no motor carrier number. It's hundreds and hundreds of owner operators that can tell you about how they had a safety violation or, their safety score was bad and their insurance got canceled. And then, of course, with your insurance get canceled, your MC number is no longer inactive. That's a large problem, in the trucking industry, having your MC number canceled, right? So me as a business owner, I don't like a lot of regulation, a lot of government regulation, because I don't want one thing being able to happen and shut my business down. Now I'm not bringing in cash flow. Now I'm around here with bills and I can't pay my bills, right? Because they shut down my MC number for something that might not even have been my fault. That happens a lot in trucking, right? So that's one thing as an owner that would scare me. That's kind of scary. I'm not even gonna lie. If I was a company driver and I got my own MC number, now I'm an owner operator and I'm dependent on being an owner operator for all my income, right? I got bills, I got kids, I got stuff to do, right? You feel me? So my point is, like, you don't want a lot of government regulation, right? Right? Especially if this is my only income, if trucking is my only income, and then something can happen, and now my MC number, my motor carrier number is inactive, right? And this is my only income. That sounds scary to me. What that sounds like is working a job and depending on somebody else for my income, and only depending on that job. And I can go into work and something can happen. The supervisor can blame something on me, and I just get fired just like that, right? That's scary to me. Being a business owner isn't scary. That scares the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie. So being an owner operator and depending on an MC number being active and things can go on out of your control that shuts that MC number down, that don't really vibe well with me. And so that's why I chose dispatching. That's why I chose dispatching, right? So I won't have to worry about that. So it's no MC number required, no motor carrier number, no DOT number. no dot, So you don't have to worry about that. No surety bond. I get a lot of people asking me why did I become a freight dispatcher instead of a broker, And a lot of people ask me, do you make more money as a dispatcher or a broker, which I'm going to get to after this. But people ask me, why'd you just decide dispatching before brokerage? Now, I am a broker too, along with getting my own authority, starting a trucking business, getting my brokerage authority. I do that too, but I did dispatching before that, right? So there's no surety bond. A surety bond can cost you $8,000 on average or more, right? To get that surety bond as a brokerage. Whereas a broker, when I first started, I didn't have $8,000 sitting to the side to do that, right? So I chose dispatching because I didn't need a surety bond. All right. Insurance. As a broker, you need insurance. As a owner operator, you need insurance. Owner operators know insurance can be very expensive. It can get canceled out of nowhere. I had that problem with a lot of owner operators I mentor. They come to me, and they want mentorship because their MC number is getting shut down, right? So, because their insurance got canceled. You see that if you've been in trucking some time, you see that all the time that insurance gets canceled and the authority is no longer active. So I like dispatching because you don't even need insurance. So dispatching, no motor carrier number, no DOT number, no surety bond, no insurance. Why wouldn't you do it, right? So what to me is common sense, if out of like all the businesses, like being an owner operator, being a broker, or being a dispatcher, of course, for myself, this is my own way of thinking. I'm going to go with dispatching because it's the least amount of startup capital. Because even if it fails, I want to spend the least amount of money as possible, right? It's the least amount of government regulation, right? And the main thing is, just like I did, so I would rather start the business with the least amount of startup capital and the least amount of government regulation, draw in cash flow from starting that business, start making money from being a dispatcher, and use that money to, build me up a safety net, which I did, right? Because I didn't have it before. So I built me up a safety net first, because that's the main thing. All right. Like I said, I'm going to educate you guys on dispatching, building wealth, anything I can do to get you to the goal of having a successful freight dispatch company, right? So when I first started making money in this business, why I built a safety net is the main reason why most people don't become wealthy, right? I'm going to tell you guys even too, like now, why most people will never become wealthy, right? I hate to say that, but the main reason is because people worry too much, right? So when you don't have money, you worry about bills, you worry about rent, you worry about mortgage, you worry about your car payment, you worry about little mechanical issues, right? But I'm here to tell you, although that worrying, it takes you away from thinking of ideas and from implementing ideas of making money, right? You can't make money while you're worried about money, right? That's two like opposites. It don't go together, right? So even when I didn't have money, when I was trying to start this business, this is the only way. This is the only way to become wealthy, right? You got to stop thinking about not having money and stop thinking about where you are now and just start thinking about all the ideas that you can use to become wealthy, because that's the only way you're going to become wealthy. The thoughts that you have of where you are now, or the bills you're worried about, or anything like that, that holds you back. It actually holds you back from becoming wealthy. So that's why it's so hard for most people to become wealthy, right? Even myself, when I started this business, I had to come to a point like I'm not thinking about the money that's in my bank account anymore, right? I'm not thinking about people saying I can't make it, right? I'm not thinking about family saying that I shouldn't do this, right? I'm not thinking about friends trying to throw slicks, hating type shit in there, right? I'm not thinking about all this stuff. Only thing I'm thinking about is myself and becoming wealthy and starting a successful business, right? Have to get back to where I was at after that one. But basically, I built up my safety net, right? So before dispatching, I didn't have a safety net. So I built up my safety net, put some cash to the side. So now I'm like, I don't have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have to worry about gas money. All these worries, and it's a big difference when you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. So now I'm like, I'm not worried about that. So those thoughts aren't coming up to me anymore, and now I'm just thinking about more thoughts about having to make money. So that's how it is when you worried about money. You just worried about that, and you're not really thinking about how to make money. And that's what, of course, it's like common sense when you really break it down. Of course, if you're worried about your current situation and not worried about the future and ideas of how to make money, then how are you ever going to get to that future you want to get to if you're not having those thoughts? If you're just having the thoughts about where you are right now, it's just going to hold you to that spot. Even in business, if a business is happening, this is what I want you guys to realize too. Personal life, business life is the exact same, right? It could be $1 million, $1 billion business, but you throw some leadership in there. Say this is what happens to a lot of businesses too, even big businesses. Like they start having problems in their business, right? And they fire like those directors and those high level people, and they bring in new directors and high level people, right? And what those directors and high level people do is they worry about the company, right? They start worrying about the company, laying off employees, out of nowhere, they're laying off employees. But what that does, and I'm going to come back to the subject, but I want to get this out to you guys too, because you can see it. I want to give you guys information that you can see, even in bigger companies. And the reason why it doesn't matter if it's a big company, $1 million company, and the reason why those companies still fail is because it's a difference from starting a company, being the founder, and getting that company started. There's a big difference between that and then just someone with an MBA or something that's a director or even the CEO of a company, right? You see most people that start companies don't even have degrees, don't even have an MBA, right? Because it's a different learning, it's a different skill when you start a company than when you're directing a company. So basically, big companies that have problems, they fire directors, they fire managers, they bring in new managers and directors. Those new managers and directors, they continue to lay off people, right? Because the business isn't making as much money as it was in the past, right? So their way of thinking, that MBA that they got and they paid all that money for, what their way of thinking teaches them to do is to lay off people, to lay off employees, right? And not knowing what happens when they lay off people, when they lay off employees, the employees that's left there, it brings down their spirits, right? It brings down their motivation, right? And they're not as motivated about they're not as motivated as they're doing their job because they see some of their coworkers got laid off. So they're not as motivated. They're not going to think as good ideas, and they're not going to put in as much work into the company, right? So what does that do? That further drives down the cash flow, right? They're even making less money. But the big, directors with the MBA, they didn't start the company. They don't know how to work with energy, right? Right? New business owners, entrepreneurs, we're working with spirituality. We're working with energy, right? So we know if we start laying off people, it's going to bring down the work ethic of the other employees that's there, right? So we just hurt ourselves even more that way, right? Right? So you see this with big companies. This is why big companies fail, because they just start laying off people and all the cash flow keeps going down more and more and more. But what they need to do is to think of a better idea. Think of what their customer needs to add more value to their customer, and think of an idea that adds way more value to their customer than they ever added before, right? And if they do this, what they'll have to do is actually hire employees because they'll have that much more business, right? So I'm always talking about thought with you guys. So basically, even you now, if you're just starting this business or a big major corporation that's failing, basically, if you're starting this business or a corporation that's failing, both of you guys want to move up to the next level, right? You want to reach a new level in your company, a new level in your life, right? So the only way that big company can do it, or the only way you can do it as a entrepreneur just starting, what you need to do is turn your back to all the other thoughts. If it don't get you towards making more money, and I'm telling you this through experience, and I mean so much experience to where I had started my company, I was making good money, right? My dispatch company, and then I started to fail, right? I probably racked up on a few extra expenses because I was making more money. And then I started to lose owner operator. I started to lose 1 and then 2 and then 3, and I wasn't marketing, right? So I honestly started to fail. And this is personal experience, right? And I tell you, like, it was a lot of people, family, friends, whatever. They had knew that I built a dispatch service, and they were happy, proud of me, everything like that. And I actually started to fail, right? I started to fail. And what I had to do, I had to really even think to myself. I had to tell myself, like, well, every thought that I'm having about failure, about I'm not going to make it, or I'm not going to be able to, carry this business on to bigger and better things, I had to turn my back to all those thoughts, right? I had to stop thinking all those thoughts. And I just had to think thoughts that's going to get me to where I want to go. Because I had to tell myself, the longer I sit here and throughout the day on the couch thinking about that I'm failing, that's going to cause me to keep failing. So I had to stop thinking about those thoughts. I thought about mentioning to people or friends, close friends or whatever, that my business was failing or how my business was going. Then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not saying anything to anybody, right? Because that's still not going to help me, right? So I put my thoughts in a higher idea to manifest more cash flow into my business. So even with me, this is personal experience. My first time experiencing this was when I started my business. Just like a lot of you guys, you're going to have to stop thinking about all the negative things, right? And just put the positive things on your mind. And also, there's nobody holding you back from business. The market's not holding you back. Nothing's holding you back at all times. The only thing holding you back is your own thought and what you're saying to yourself. That means anything more than the market or whatever. Now, when you can get your own thoughts, when you can talk to yourself with positivity and thoughts of wealth and income, then this is where I want you to get. Then you're not going to have to depend on anybody. Like now, I don't depend. I think of my own ideas, what I want to do next in business, what I would want to do next to make more money and to generate cash flow. And then I just do that, right? So that's all I'm doing for the rest of my life. That's all I'm doing. Just thinking of my own business ideas and going with that. And then from personal experience and what you guys will realize about yourself is once you start going with your own ideas, you'll go with your own ideas and then you'll make money off your own ideas. And then you won't need to. The money is going to solidify it for you. Then you're not going to need to go to anybody else, because once you have that idea, you work hard on it and you put it out there and it makes you money. Why are you turning to anyone else for an idea or what to do or whatever? So, right. So tying into a question I seen in the chat, how much money do my students earn on average, right? How much money do my students earn on average? So I get that question. Roman, thanks a lot. I see you enrolled in that 6-week program for $25 a month. After we end this live, I got your email address. I will be sending you a link where you can schedule that 15-minute phone call from me. So thanks a lot. Also, guys, I think we're about 4 for that free mentorship call. But guys, remember, go to my website, enroll in that $50 per month program. Use the code that you see down below on that screen, and you only got to pay $25 a month. You can't get more knowledge for a cheaper price anywhere else, because that's my goal. My goal is to be able to give you the best knowledge for the cheapest price, right? So, yeah, like I said, you guys, so that's how you can get to financial independence. True financial independence is being able to think of your own business ideas and using those ideas to get you money, right? So that's true financial independence for me. So one more time, we're going to go over that. So for dispatching, there's no motor carrier number needed. There's no DOT number. There's no surety bond, and there's no insurance. All right. Going back, I'm trying to put out too much stuff at once. Going back to a question I seen in the chat. On average, how much money do my students make? Well, I want to tell you guys about that. I get that question a lot. Sometimes I will put a number out there that I believe is the average. But going on what I said, right? So to really give you guys some business knowledge, do not ever ask how much money somebody else is making, right? Because if I told you my students make on average $5,000 a month, then you're going to lock your mind to $5,000 a month. And the truth about business is it just depends on the idea. It just depends on the offer. It depends on what you do within your own business. So one business could be making $5,000 a month and you could make $15,000 a month, right? So business is just about the ideas you put out there, right? In any business, any industry, you got some people not making any money. You got some people making a decent amount of money, and then you got some people that those people making like a whole lot of money. If they were to talk to the people not making no money, the people not making any money, they even in my programs, I probably have people that are making a whole bunch of money, and other people who haven't started making money who've been doing the program a pretty long time by now. And those people would ask the people asking a lot of money, like, how are you making that much money? I didn't even think that's possible, because they're not actually executing on the knowledge they have, right? So even for me in business, any new business that I start, I would never, ever ask. I don't care about how much money somebody else made. That don't have anything to do with me, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to think of my own ideas to bring into the industry that's able to make more money than everybody in the industry probably anyway. So why would I even care, right? And then what guys got to realize is, I'll say this from being a trainer and a mentor, people have personal problems going on, right? People don't fail because of the market or because they can't get clients. People fail because they got personal problems going on that takes them away from their business. They got problems with their friends, spouse, marriage. It's that type of stuff that makes people fail in business, right? And it's that type of stuff that keeps people from making the money they wish they could make, because they're worried about stuff going on in their personal life. So when you ask me how much money on average do my students make, you got people with all different life experiences, and the stuff they're going through on their daily lives is going to have to do with how much money they make in their business. So why do you even care? I know that, right? I would say my life is pretty straight. I don't really have problems in my life, right? I try to keep everything pretty copacetic so I can focus on what I need to focus on to make money, right? But I know, hey, people's lives, people live all different types of lives, right? Some people aren't focused, right? That's a large percentage. So I wouldn't really ever ask how much money somebody else is making in any business, because most of all, like I said, that locks your mind. If I told you, yeah, most people make $2,000 a month, right? Then that's going to be your goal. That's going to be put into your mind, and you're going to have $2,000 a month on your mind, right? So what I do when I get in, I put my own goal in my mind, right? I put my own amount of money. I tell myself I want to make, even if I say I want to make $100,000 per year. So, and that's what you need to do, right? It's the law of attraction. If you think about making this is personal experience too. If you think about making $100,000 a year and constantly think about that, what's going to happen naturally, you're going to get all the ideas and everything is going to come to you for you to make that $100,000 per year. So that's why I'm the type, I have a plan wrote down. I have a vision board. I have all that, so I can just fill my mind up with what I want, right? Even if you put the house you want on your vision board, or you just keep thinking about the house you want, the things you want to have from starting this business, what's going to happen? You're going to naturally get the answers, right? It's going to come to you, right? So that's the problem, right? That most people, they don't put their belief in what they want. I've been telling you guys here now for a couple of videos, if you can believe it, you can achieve it, right? Because when you believe it, then you just get all the ideas, right? So what I say, more importantly, just put an idea, the amount of money that you want to make on your mind, and then all the ideas will come to you. And I'll say for my previous students, through experience, students that I can tell that aren't focused as much as they should be, they sometimes take forever to get started, or they never get started, or whatever. You know how life goes. People just have things come up and then they stop trying, right? Then I have some other people who are very focused, right? I've been mentoring a long time, right? People have paid me hundreds of thousands of dollars to help them build their freight dispatch business, right? And the reason I'm telling you this, that people pay me hundreds and thousands of dollars, because just like the owner operators that I learned from them, I learn from the people that I mentor, right? And I'm able to, when I speak to someone on the phone, I'm able to tell by how they talk, how confident they are in themselves and their business, right? And that's what I do as I'm mentoring someone. If they don't sound as confident as they should, I don't openly tell them, hey, you don't sound as confident as you should, so this is what you need to be focused on. That's not mentoring. When I hear them and they don't sound as confident as they should, I say things to get them more confident, because I know that confidence in them is what's going to help them start their business. So really, to answer your questions about how much money on average the students make, it's all over the place. It just depends on the person, right? But I will say the ones that make the most amount of money, I can tell they're implementing what I say. They're also thinking of their own ideas, because I tell them, just don't depend on my ideas. Just don't depend on what I tell you. Learn more for yourself, because that's teaching them to be independent, right? I don't want anybody just to depend on me, right? I want you to take the information, the knowledge that I'm putting out, and you take in that knowledge and you grow it. You become independent. My goal is for my students not to need me, right? That's how I know I'm being a good mentor. If my students no longer need me, then my job's done, right? So to answer your question, like, people are making all different amounts of money. Just depends on their focus. Just depends on how dedicated they are. But I was going to go into the income anyway. So let's just say a truck is making $10,000 per week, and you're charging 8% to dispatch that truck. So that's $500, right? If they make $10,000, and like I said, this revenue, it can be plus or minus some, right? So you're making that truck $10,000, you're charging 8%. So $10,000 at 8%. I have my numbers off. Is of course $800, right? So that's $800 per truck, right? So with one truck, you can make $800 per week, right? So let's just say you're dispatching 3 trucks. 3 trucks, that's $2,400, right? 3 trucks, that's $2,400. So at 5 trucks, you're making $4,000 per week. So like I said, I get the question all the time. People ask me how much money. Hey, check this out too. People ask me how much money can you make in freight dispatching, right? But there's no cap. There's no amount of money that I can tell you, like, oh, $10,000 per month. That's all you're going to make. You're never going to make any more than $10,000 per month, or $15,000 or $20,000. Any business, the amount of money is unlimited. It just depends on the ideas you think of, right? Students that I have that's the most successful, they concentrate on marketing, growing their brand awareness, getting their business name out there, and they attract so many clients. They hire other dispatchers to work for them. And now I got students who are starting, they will have a call center. They have people working from overseas, which they are able to pay a much lower amount than people working in the United States. And then the thing is, these people speak perfect English, right? Sometimes owner operators will say they get tired of dispatchers calling them, and they can't speak English. They're foreign and things like that. I got dispatchers who have a call center overseas with like 10 dispatchers working for them. And these foreign dispatchers speak perfect English. You would never know they're not from the United States, right? That's the level of dispatching, of training and mentoring people that I'm at now, right? And they're making well into the $20,000, $30,000 per month range, right? But they actually did the work. They took from day one, they put in the work, and you actually got to put in the work to be able to make that amount of money, right? People always say you want to make a lot of money, but you can forget the money. What you need to do is concentrate on the steps to make that amount of money. So like I said, five trucks, dispatching them at 8%, and they're making on average $10,000 a week. Each truck, that's $4,000 a week for you, charging 8% as a dispatcher. So with 5 trucks, you could be making $16,000, right? So I know I've been talking for probably like over an hour, but I want to go ahead and tell you guys the thought that I had to really help me to start making money in this business, right? And I don't think many people will know this at all. This is something you can look at everybody talking about dispatching, how to become a dispatch trainer. And I honestly don't think you'll hear this from anybody else, right? So this is what it was, right, that took me to success, right? So people, they worry about the business, the industry. They worry about getting loads, worry about having everything perfect for owner operators, right? Worry about rates, worry about all this different stuff, right? But I wasn't successful until I had that thought, and I told myself, I need to stop thinking about any of that stuff, right? I need to stop thinking about any of that. What I need to do is come up with the idea to offer more value to owner operators than most people are offering to the market right now. Because when you do that, That's going to cause you to stand out from the marketplace, right? And attract owner operators towards you. Deeper level business knowledge, again, using the law of attraction. The law of attraction works in everything, and including your business, right? So this is how the law of attraction works in your business. Most people start a business and they copy. They just naturally copy what everybody else is doing because they take what they see with their eyes and then they do the same thing, right? But how the law of attraction works, if you think of something different for your business, right? Something unique about your business, how the law of attraction works, like thoughts attract like circumstances in the physical world. So by you having that thought about that different thing that you want to add to your business, right? This could be something you haven't heard of before. You just might have in your mind right now. But how the law works is if you put that idea out there, it is guaranteed that it's somebody else. It's an owner operator thinking about, wow, I wish somebody offered this. I wish a dispatching service offered this. You know, it's somebody thinking about that same idea that you have. So that's why I'm telling you, you need to put that idea that you have out into the marketplace and advertise it as to many different people. And what you might notice is, and this has happened with me in business, this stuff isn't by coincidence. What I notice is when I put out that idea, people come to me, it's like, I've been looking for something just like this. This is exactly what I was looking for, right? But when you copy the market, when you do what other dispatchers are doing, no one is going to look at your advertisement or your website and say, this is exactly what I've been looking for. Because it's the same as if they want to look for what you got, they might as well look all over the market because that's what the market is, right? But when you offer a different service, right? So that's why in some my videos, I told you guys about offering guarantees. Offer a 10% guarantee in revenue, right? That will have some conditions with it. It just wouldn't be just 10% straight up because I never know where I might start dispatching this owner operator from. If they're in a slow lane, right? That's going to take away from the amount of profit I can make them. So it is some conditions, but I'll be talking about that more in my one-on-one programs and my $50 per month programs. But when you offer that guarantee, what you want to do, like this is business, right? Business isn't thinking about, oh, I want everything to be perfect and higher are the rates, or is this still a good industry to get into? All that talk is wasting time, right? Think about how you're going to offer more value than what you see in the marketplace, and then think about how you're going to get that out to as many people as possible. And then the thing is about dispatching, you only got to have three trucks, you're making a lot of money, right? So what was that number for three trucks? Three trucks, that could be $2,400 a week, right? So myself, back when I was making much less than $2,400 a week, like I told you, I had to stop questioning, like, is this still a good industry to get into? Is this oversaturated? Is this all these questions that most people are asking cause failure? Because they sure don't cause success. Success don't care about what the market is looking like. Success don't care about what my other students did. Success don't care about what other people that tried to do this before, was it easy for them. Success don't care about, is this an easy business to get into? Success don't care about, does it take a lot of work? Success don't care about any of those things, right? So most of the time people fail in business is because you're asking yourself the wrong questions in your head. You know, you need to ask yourself, how can I make some money? How can I offer more value to owner operators than what's already in the marketplace, right? Right. So with three trucks, like I said, that's $2,400 a week, right? $2,400 a week, which is $9,600 a month, which is a little bit over 115,000 per year. So literally, I didn't start taking off until I started adding up the numbers, and then I stopped worrying about things and asking myself stupid questions because it didn't matter anyway. I just added up the numbers and I seen how much I can make off of three trucks, and then after that, the only question I asked myself after that is, how do I get three trucks? Because those three trucks is going to make me $115,000 per year. And at the time, I had never made that money, and I have never made over six figures. I have never made over $100,000 at any job that I ever worked in my life. And I'm proud of that. You know, about $40,000 a year was the most money I ever made at a job. But on my own business, I made much more than that. So that's something that I'm proud of to say, like, I never even really made any money at a job. Honestly, to tell you the truth, this just came from me. Like a lot of you guys, like I was new to this. This just came from me getting into this and just trying it out. believing in myself, forgetting what other people were saying, and just marketing my thinking of that different business idea, right? Like I said, guarantees. You don't see any dispatcher saying that they offer a 10% increase in revenue guarantee, right? We need to think more into business. Think about our offerings. Just don't say everything else all the rest of the dispatchers are saying and offering. Offer a guarantee, right? Offer something that your potential client can't say no to. If you offer a guarantee, how many people do you think are going to sign up with you? Like more, right? Over other dispatch companies. You're going to get so much business over other dispatch companies. And it's not about worrying, oh, can I actually increase their profit by 10%? Even if you sign up that one and you don't increase their profit by 10%, take the lessons learned and apply it to the next person, and then make it happen with the next person and the next person after that and the next person after that, right? So I wouldn't care if you went through the first 5 people and you didn't increase their profit. That's not the goal with my training and how I'm going to mentor you. The goal is going to be for you not to have to fail on your guarantee, of course, right? But I do believe failing on your guarantee 5 times would be better than most people who never get owner operators, right? And then I believe by failing on your guarantee, you will learn more, right? I believe you can take my course. You can take my course and you can get out there. You can try to, do this even with a guarantee. And let's say you fail the first 5 times and you don't meet that guarantee of an increase in revenue by at least 10%. I believe what you learned by failing, you'll be able to take those lessons learned and apply them to future clients. And then this is how business works. That's when you're going to make $200,000 a year. That's when, like I said, that's when you're going to make that $200,000 a year. And then 3 or 4 years later, you're going to be making $1 million a year, right? But the person who says they don't want to offer a guarantee, who are worried about it, or who don't execute on their business every day like they need to, those are the people that's going to still be in that situation, the same situation they're in now. They're going to be in the same spot 5 years from now, right? But let's just say you have a thought or an idea, or you hear from me about offering guarantees, and then you do that, and you fail the first 3 times. But again, be thankful for that. Don't let that get you down, because you're going to miss the learning lessons in that, right? But different from the person who never gets their business off the ground, the person that listens to me and offers guarantees, and you get 3 clients and you fail on them all, miserably. You have some bad days. But what I'm telling you, those bad days is actually good days. Just like my experience, what I learned through those bad days, I implemented them further into the future, and that really what helped me made a lot more money. So for my personal experience, things that I first thought were bad, that I thought were making my business fail, I learned from them. And then, honestly, I'm happy for it happening. Everything that happened to me in freight dispatching in my business, everything that's ever happened to me, even I'm talking about during the times of it happening, I felt bad. I was down on myself. Maybe I made a mistake or something went wrong. But right now, I'm happy for everything that happened, right? Because I learned from every single thing that happened, and every single thing that happened helped me to make more money, right? So even when you're going through things in business, when it's tough, that's what I'm saying. You actually got to be thankful and happy for those moments. I'm to the point when something comes up now, I'm probably smiling, I'm grinning, I'm happy about it in the inside, because I'm thinking, all right, let's see what happens after this. After I fight through this problem and fight through the solution on my own, by myself, without going to anybody else, after I get through this problem, let's see where I'm going to be at as a business person, right? So that's what I want for you guys. Don't get discouraged when you have problems, right? But you can make a lot of money in this business. Like I said, the main thing is you're going to hear all this talk about loads, oversized loads, all this different talk. I mentioned it in my video. But what I'm saying, if you want to be successful in this business, you got to learn all that stuff about trucking pretty quick, right? And I'm not saying this just for you to buy one of my courses, but online on YouTube, if you're watching my channel or other people's channels, it's a lot of information, but it's broken up, right? You need all the information straight up. You just need to be able to sit down, take notes, right? Take notes and get this information in one setting. Or if you watch it at different times, that's fine. But it's just the searching around. You're wasting time. Time is money, right? So you need this information fast, so you don't have to search all around for the information. But You need to learn all the trucking stuff, all the stuff about which loads go on which truck, all the hours of service. Like I said, man, people making money. I don't think it's a long time. People that make money in a certain industry don't go weeks or months or whatever. It's like with force. You got to have like force every day, right? So yeah, learn all that general trucking stuff. I would say if I was starting this business, I would give myself about a week. I'd be like, I got a week to learn, pretty much everything I need to know about trucking. And then during that week and after, just start thinking of an idea to offer more value than most of the stuff you see out there. And it's common sense to me, and I hope it's common sense to you once I break it down like this. Basically, like if you think of an idea to offer more value than most of the businesses, most of the freight dispatch businesses you see, then of course owner operators, clients are going to be attracted to you. But if you got the same stuff, if you're like saying the same stuff, have the same things on your flyers as the rest of the dispatch companies, they're just going to overlook you. You're just a number at that point. But if they look at 4 or 5 dispatch companies and then they see your flyer or they see your website and you say you offer a guarantee of an increase in revenue by at least 10%. Oh, hold on. I think I got something. That's how I would be. Now you got my attention. And now I want to look more into your business. I want to look more into your website. Oh, you got your phone number right here to contact you. Oh, you got a scheduler where I can set an appointment with you. Oh, you talking about increasing my profit as an owner operator. This fuel is high. My insurance is high, right? I done went through 2 other dispatchers. I'm tired of bouncing around the dispatchers. But then I find you, and you got a guarantee of increasing my profit by at least 10%. Now I'm going to slow down. I'm going to look around your website a little bit more. I'm going to set up a phone call to schedule a call with you. I'm going to call you, right? But if they come up on your website and it's just the exact same as all the rest of the dispatching websites, your offer is the offer. Everybody has the same offer, right? But if your offer is the exact same as the rest of the companies, they're going to fly past you and go to the next company, which is probably the exact same, right? But when they come across a company that has a different offering, that's offering guarantees, that's when they're going to stop. That's going to grow their interest, right? So you got people trying to get into this business, but so the main thing is people try to get in this business to make money, but they never owned a business before. They're not thinking of how to be a business owner. They're not thinking of marketing, business plan, things like this, right? They're worried about being perfect for the customer, right? But being perfect for your customer ain't going to make you any money. Thinking about you want to be perfect for your customer, that's not making you any money. Coming up with a good business plan, coming up with a UVP, unique value proposition, something that makes your business unique is what's going to make you successful. But I would say, like majority of the people getting in this business, I don't think they think about, the stuff I'm talking about tonight, right? This stuff I'm talking about tonight is the stuff I guess maybe after you became successful that So I can't get on nobody too bad, right? I was at that position one time myself, and this is just all stuff I learned from building my business. So I can't talk about nobody. I was in the same boat. I think I got a question. I'm going to try to skip around to some of these questions. I see Raymond said, bottom line, you got to grind. Yeah, you got to grind. You got to really grind. I'll be honest, when I started this business, and I'm saying this from, like I told you guys, I went through the Navy and Navy boot camp, Army boot camp, through different military training. But I would say starting a freight dispatch business with the level of effort that it took, of course, it wasn't the same as being in the military, but it was along this, for me, I believe it was along the same line of effort, right? So it took a lot of effort, because when I started this business and I got it to be successful, I'm like, man, this took some effort. And I'm like, man, this almost took as much effort as going through boot camp or something. And I'm like, I don't think most people are going to be able to get through it just because the effort it takes. But I mean, the effort isn't nothing compared, to making like the money you want to make. So I wouldn't really think about the effort like that. Yeah, the regions, where to make money at. Basically, people ask questions about my training. I tell you guys the straight up truth about my training. I teach you everything you need to know. I take all the information that you need to know, and I pretty much sit at home like I am now and record videos and put them into my training, right? So I just think about everything that you need to know to make you successful in this business, right? And I put it into the training. But my real secret is I think about where the market is going, right? So I flank the market, because this is what I do for myself. I flank the market in thought. And thought I get over and above the market, right? And I think of ideas of how to get over and beyond the market, and I put that in my training, right? So a lot of people ask me simple questions like, do you go over the trucks or how to get paid? Yes, that's the easiest stuff ever, right? That's nothing, right? So I feel like even if my students, my potential students even have to ask me what I have in my training, I'm already messing up because I feel like I should have stuff in my training that you shouldn't even never know to ask me, right? Before I got on YouTube and started talking about electronic freight dispatch agreements, right? That's the kind of stuff I'm gonna put in my training, stuff that you're not seeing out there in the market, right? Because of course that's what's going to make you successful. If I'm putting stuff in my training that's not out there in the market that people aren't talking about, I'll put that in my training. My students go through my training, and that's how they become successful. Because my number one goal is for my students to become successful. So what I do, I just flank the market and give you guys that information first, right? So basically the information that I give in my training programs, I guarantee you this, the information I'm putting in my training programs months later, 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, the stuff I'm got in my training programs, that's what you will hear as general knowledge, as public knowledge on YouTube and social media 3 months from now, 3 years from now, right? The stuff I put in my training, you're not even going to hear about right now because that's my goal. That's how I know I can be a good trainer or a good mentor is put in future things in my training. And then you implement those future services, those future ideas. And then when owner operators see your business, your website, see your offerings, it's not going to be heard of before. But all that regular stuff that they're used to hearing of, you're going to offer that stuff too. But then you're going to offer a lot more, right? Going deeper into it, I don't even believe in being just a dispatcher anymore. You might as well change your name to Logistics Solutions, Logistics Solutions Management or something like that. Logistics Consultants, something like that, right? And the reason I'm telling you this, even going further into the future, this is what I'm talking about, right? So this is how I see it, even with titles, right? Sometimes I don't like giving myself a title. I don't like titles, right? Because think about it. Even if you give yourself the title of a freight dispatcher, only thing you're going to think about is being a freight dispatcher, booking high dollar loads, negotiating with brokers. And that's fine. But if you just be a dispatcher, you're not going to make it anywhere in this industry. What you want to do, you want to be more of a dispatcher. So if you give yourself the title of a dispatcher, that's what's that going to do. That's going to kind of basically give you the energy. Everything that a dispatcher is supposed to do by you thinking about yourself being a dispatcher, you're just going to copy all that stuff that a dispatcher, all that normal average stuff a dispatcher does, right? But if you give yourself the title as a logistics solution specialist, that can include all the dispatching stuff and a lot more too, right? So now just because you gave yourself a different title, you're thinking of yourself a different way. Even now, if I was starting a dispatch business right now, I wouldn't even say that I'm a dispatcher. I would make up something else, say I'm a transportation specialist. I would list all the services dispatchers list on their website, then plus a ton more, right? So, but I think by giving ourselves titles, what you do in business is you kind of deny yourself profit, right? Because when you give yourself the title as a dispatcher, you're only thinking about the dispatching value that you can offer to owner operators, right? But if you think of yourself as a logistics solution specialist or whatever you want to name it, then you got all that dispatching stuff, and then you got anything. I would say this is the future of dispatching. It's just not dispatching. Execute on anything that can bring more value to your potential client, to your owner operator. The dispatching stuff, whatever it is, whatever you can think of. This is the future of dispatching. That's why I wouldn't even call it freight dispatching anymore, because the future is not just only dispatching. The future is thinking of any idea you can give to your potential owner operator to generate more revenue. Because at the end of the day, an owner operator just cares about generating more revenue, right? So why would you lock yourself down to loads alone, right? I got students right now giving lead generation, giving owner operators leads for a certain amount of money a week or a month. They give them shipper leads, right? So I think this is another thing. If I was trying to get ahead of the competition right now, today, and like I told you guys, at any point, what I do is I just get ahead of the market, right? So I can just think of an idea at any time. So what I would do right now to get ahead of the market, most freight dispatchers are just being dispatchers, right? But what I would do is I would come up with some program where I book loads for owner operators, and then I give them shipper leads, like warm leads, shippers who are possibly looking for owner operators to move loads for them. So they will have to stop going through the broker, right? I would give leads. I would research those shippers, get them on a phone call, make sure that they, are accepting owner operators to help them move their loads. And then I would sell those leads. So if I'm selling leads to owner operators, so if I'm selling 20 elite, $20, if I'm $100 per 20 leads for 20 shippers, right? And then I give them 20 leads a month. So that's $400 a month. So as a dispatcher, that's extra additional revenue for me. Now I'm making $400 extra a month, and I'm helping the owner operator to get leads. Some traditional dispatchers, the traditional dispatcher is going to ask, well, if I get them shippers, won't that take away from my money? That's what the traditional person would ask, right? But the real business owner would realize this. The real business owner would realize that if you advertise that you do that, go ahead and advertise that you will help them. You will book loads for them, negotiate with brokers, all that regular stuff, and you will also give them shipper leads. You can say it's 8% plus $100 a week for the shipper leads, right? So now you're making 8% off of them, and then an extra $100 a week, which adds up to be $400 a month. So now that's an extra $400 a month, right? So let's just do that times a year. That's $4,800 a year. Let's say you're doing that with 5 carriers, right? Giving them those owner operator leads, right? This is how my mind thinks as a business owner. So now I'm giving those leads to 5 carriers. So now that's $24,000. So for me, and this is how I think in business, now I done added an extra additional $24,000 to my yearly revenue. I done added an additional basically $25,000, right, to my yearly revenue. I can't do that when I'm working a job. Working a job, I'm going to work my ass off for a raise that I probably never get. And that raise is probably nothing, 10 cents, 20 cents anyway, right? But that's why I'd rather be a business owner so I can think of my own idea and start making an extra $25,000 a year, right? So the traditional dispatcher will be worried about that owner operator leaving them because they've started to get like leads. They start to lock in leads and convert those shippers, right? And now they're getting direct shipments from those shippers, right? The traditional dispatcher will be worried about that. But see, the thing I would think about as a business owner, I'm thinking about I'm offering this service. So this service is different. And at the end of the day, owner operators want direct shipments, right? They don't have to go through the brokers anymore, right? Shit, really shit. Like they don't have to go. I'm thinking they don't have to go through the broker or the dispatcher. Forget it. They won't even have to go through me anymore. But what I know is that's going to bring in so many owner operators through the door. I'm trying to get them through the door, right? I'm trying to get customers to sign up with me. So that's going to cause an overflow of owner operators to sign up with my company. So I'm not thinking about me giving them shippers will like make it where they don't need my services, right? I'm thinking that's going to hold them around longer too, because I'm giving them these direct shipper leads. And me as a business person, I know marketing, I know sales, I know negotiating, I know how to sell people. So what I'm also going to do is give them sales training to lock in these direct shippers, right? You guys, if you look, the FMCA put out some new rules a couple months ago saying that basically dispatchers can't work with shippers, right? I'm giving you guys all the gems, right? So most people in the trucking industry, look all around the trucking industry, look everywhere that you can find most content that you will see would just be talking about those laws, right? And what you can't do now. So you can't, as a dispatcher, you can't go straight to a shipper for a load and receive money or negotiate money between the shipper and the owner operator, right? So the average dispatcher, the average person, they're just going to think about that law that went into effect, right? Wealthy people, big corporations, when laws get changed, what do? They look for loopholes. They think about how they can make more money because of the law. The average person thinks about the things that they can't do because of the law, which if you thinking about things that you can't do because of the law, that's not going to make you more money. You're wasting time thinking about that. Like literally, what's the use of thinking about that? Like I don't even think about stuff like that because it don't make me money. What I'm going to think about is how I can use the new law to make money. I'm going to look for the loophole, right? So the law never said that you can't send leads to owner operators. You're not negotiating any money. You're not working out a deal with the shipper and the owner operator, right? You're just sending them leads, contact information, right? The law didn't say you can't do that, right? So the person that wants to make money, they're going to look for the loophole and execute on the loophole and be making money. This is why people make all different amounts of money in any business, including dispatching. I believe you guys should, especially if you've been here since the beginning of this live, you should be able to see how different people make different money just by their ideas. So, I mean, if you really follow me like this, what I want you to do is stop thinking about what somebody else is doing to make money or what's the average of anything or anything like that, right? Just think of your highest ideas. What's going to make you the most amount of money is thinking of the highest ideas that you can to implement into your own business. So thinking about anything about somebody else's business, how much money they're making or whatever, you're literally wasting time, right? And then what most people do, they blame the market for not being able to get clients. They blame other people when they're the ones wasting time thinking the wrong thoughts, right? Go through here and try to answer some of you guys' questions. I'm about to really end this for tonight, but this is just like why freight dispatching is the #1 side hustle. Like it's a low overhead. It's a business. You know, a lot of businesses you can make a lot of money in. It takes a lot of startup capital, right? So even before I got into this business, when I was just like wanting to be a business owner and had high hopes of starting my own business, I was just looking for a business with a low startup cost that you can make a lot of money. Because this isn't the only one. It's a lot of businesses out there that you don't hardly have to have any money to start, but you can make a lot of money, right? But a lot of people, you know, you hear about businesses and you ask other people, is it a good business to start or can you make a lot of money? But I mean, you're kind of in the wrong asking that stuff because it really don't matter. Like I said, it depends on the ideas you think about. So people, they search forever to make more money, search forever to like want to know how to bring in more clients into their business, any business that they're in or freight dispatching. But any business that you're in, if you ever search outside of yourself for an answer on how to get more clients, you're searching in vain, right? Because the answer is always inside of you, right? Because you have to think of the idea to add more value to attract more clients. So if you're asking, like, trying to figure out something in the market that's going to bring you more clients, you're looking in the wrong place, right? Most business owners, they're never going to look within inside themselves. You really just got to sit and think or do whatever you're doing and think of ideas. That's all I'm ever trying to do in my businesses. I'm just trying to think of ideas to make money all the time. Just ideas to make money because ideas make money, right? Money doesn't make money. Ideas. You have to have the idea of how to make money. You can have all the money you want, but if you don't have an idea of how to make more money, you ain't never going to make any more money, right? So I know I have someone asking, what is my email address? My email address is ceo@antoinewest.biz. Just my name. I would drop it in the chat. That's my email address. Pretty similar to my website. Just ceo@antoinewest.biz. Dropping my website in the chat now. AntoineWest.biz. Try to go through a couple of your questions before I end this for tonight. So a couple people saying they love my channel. I love you guys too. I thank you guys. You know, it wouldn't be possible without you guys. And by getting on YouTube and Facebook, making videos on here, doing lives on here, working with you guys one-on-one, honestly, that's what helps me to become smarter and have like better ideas about making money, right? By teaching, you guys will realize that too. By teaching people things, help you to learn better. The best way to learn something or to learn how to do something better or, you know, improve something is by teaching someone what you know right now. By teaching someone what you know right now and getting that knowledge out your head into other people's minds and helping them out, it actually helps you to learn more. So I really love doing this. Just want to read through. If you guys got questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to end it here in about 5 minutes. Just trying to see if I missed any questions, anything that I can answer that will help other people out. Yeah, market. You got to market. That's the thing in any business. It's always about the marketing. But I think anybody can see if you're a new business owner, you're probably not going to think about the marketing because you're just thinking about, to me, most of the time, people that's new in business think about so much stuff that don't even matter and don't focus on the most important parts, right? You know, maybe in a video soon, I would talk about ways that owner operators can increase profits. Because I see this in the truck. And so the thing is, like in any business, you never wait on anything outside of yourself, anything outside of your own mind to increase your profit. You never look to the market or think about when rates are going to go up. That's too much waiting. In any business, not just dispatching, any business, if you got to wait for something outside of yourself to change, to make more money, then you're going to wait forever and your business is going to end up failing. That's what's going to happen because your money is going to get so low that one day something's going to come up and you're not going to, the market's going to move a certain way or something, and you're not going to think of an idea to make more money, and then you're going to end up failing, right? So just like I said, when my company was failing, I had to immediately stop thinking about all the other thoughts that weren't going to get me to make more money. Just say, forget those thoughts because they're not doing anything for me. And then I had to put thoughts on my mind, put ideas on my mind about how to make more money. And that's what saved my business. That's what would save any business. So basically, there's only one reason for business failure. The only reason for business failure is a lack of faith, right? That's the only reason. And I'll tell you, like I said, I can go on forever with this stuff, guys, but you got to realize everything is a manifestation. If you're married, that's a manifestation, right? If you're in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, that's a manifestation, right? A business is a manifestation, right? And the only thing that makes a marriage fail or a business fail or friendship, this can be just a friendship. The only thing that makes any of that stuff fail is a lack of faith, right? The only thing that makes a marriage fail is when one person or both people stop seeing yourself together in the future with the other person. You start doubting the relationship, right? And that doubt is what actually breaks down the marriage, right? Breaks down the friendship. When one person or both people stop seeing the friendship in the future. When you stop having ideas about you with your significant other in the future, right? That's what starts breaking down the marriage, right? Nothing else breaks down the marriage. When one person starts having thoughts of doubt in their mind, or when both people start having thoughts of doubt. This is the same with a team. What breaks down a team? The more doubt each player is thinking in their mind breaks down the team. Getting more into it. What breaks down a business? What would be the only thing that causes your business to fail or succeed? The thoughts of doubt or the thoughts of success you're having in your mind. You know, if you're thinking 51% of your thoughts are thoughts of success about your business will start becoming more successful. 75% of the thoughts are thoughts of success, it's going to take off even more. 80% even more. If most of your thoughts are thoughts of doubt, I can't do this. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe other people, but maybe not me. Or, I talked to 10 people. Nobody signed up with me. I don't know if I can make it. Then your business is probably going to fail. Jermaine, I appreciate it. Signed up for my 6-week program, only $25 a month. Remedy, it looks like Remedy Transportation. They signed up for it with their company name. Thank you for that purchase. Looks like Finey, thank you for your purchase either. Also, just going over a couple people that purchased into my program. Like I said, that's still there for you guys. 50% off for any of my training and mentorship programs. My value program that's $50 per month that you see on my screen. It would actually only be $25 per month. So make sure you guys go ahead and sign up for that. But like I was telling you guys, like I explained earlier, when a business begins to fail and the directors and managers start to lay off people, that just starts to make a business fail. What they need to do is have faith, come up with a new product or service and put all their faith, put all their thoughts in this product or service and put that out to as many people as possible. And instead of laying off people that actually need to hire people. So if you realize anytime a business fails, they fail because of a lack of faith. That's the only reason possible for a business to fail. It doesn't fail because of the market. Because if you have faith and you put faith in a higher idea and manifest that idea into the marketplace, then how can the market make you fail, right? If the market is just all the past ideas of your competition. So like your competition is making you fail. If you say the market, or if it's oversaturated, that just means you don't have the idea of how to offer more value, right? So when somebody says the market is oversaturated, or you hear people, I think people say that because they're talking down a certain industry and talking other people out of it. So when you hear these people say, oh, it's oversaturated, you can't make any money in that industry, right? When they say that, they're actually talking about themselves. They might as well just be saying, I don't have any idea that's able to attract clients. That's really what they're saying. So don't ever be that way. I see one of my students saying she paid $120. Like with my value program. Before I end this live, I would probably bring this up so you guys can see it. I just want to throw this out there. Hold on with me 1 second. On my website, in my courses, basically that $50 per month program that I was telling you guys about, that you can see here on my screen in just a second. Should be able to see it now. All right. So basically when you come to my $50 per month program, like I said, it's 50% off right now. You click on this program right here on my website. If you scroll down, I had a course for $50 per month, or you can also pay $120 every 3 months. So that's going to equate to $40 a month. So you're only paying $40 per month. Or you can pay $210 every 6 months. Like I said, the longer you stay, so if you pay the $210, you could be covered for the next 6 months, and you're going to get 6 weeks of training, and then you're going to get the rest of the months as mentorship. You're going to have a monthly mentorship meeting with me. So if you pay $210 today, you are covered for the next 6 months, and that $210 is only $35 a month. So you're only spending $35 a month to be able to work with me, right? But with that with that 50% off, let's say that 210, with that 50% off, you're paying what's that, 105? You're paying 105 for those 6 months, right? So you would only pay $105 today for 6 months. So 105, and then you divide that by 6 months, you're only paying $17.50, right? You're only paying $17.50 every month to have me as your mentor. So I don't think it gets much cheaper than that. So even if you want to secure your training and mentorship for the next 6 months, I suggest you do that. I hope I got to most of you guys' questions. I know you might have been talking to each other. I don't want to miss over anything too important. Floyd, I see, how do you build relationships with starting in a dispatcher business? Well, you got to grow brand awareness, so that's going to get your business name out to as many people as possible. And then it's about what you're offering, the value you're offering to your potential owner operators. So, by offering that value, that's how you're going to network with more and more owner operators. Basically, any business, including this one, you want to make yourself valuable, right? You want to make your potential customers, attracted to you by the information that you put out. That way, you won't have to go out and try to search or find clients. You got Raymond saying, I'm going too hard. Hey, I tried. I feel like it too. Drop some gems. I think I do better with these lives. Honestly, guys, sometimes I even get tired of the recorded videos. Hey, it gets a little boring just sitting in front of a camera talking all the time. So I'm going to try to do more of these lives. Well, I definitely am. And also what I'm going to start doing soon, I'm going to invite you guys. I can invite you guys onto my live where you can come on, and we'll see you on video and audio, and everybody else will too. And you can ask me specific questions. So on my next live, hey, I should be doing a next live sometime next week sometime. I'll send out that information. If you guys haven't, make sure you text me info to 407-698-3972. That is my text message list. I will give you guys an update next week when I am going to do my next live, but I'm going to do them periodically. Dropping my number in the chat here. So that's my number there. You can text me info and be added to my text message list. Yep, Christ Energy, that's what it's about. It's all manifestation. That being said, I definitely believe, you know, like I said, all my training even is for years down the road, right? So I know in the future, we'll be talking about manifestation more in the business world, right? That's why I'm just giving it to you guys now so you can get ahead of competition. But any business that you start, you want to use your faith and think of an idea that's better than the faith that's already been manifested into the marketplace, basically, right? If you come, like attracts like thoughts attract like circumstances in the physical world. So if you're having like thoughts, if your thoughts are the same as what's already in the market, then you're going to attract the same circumstances. You're probably not going to be making any money, because most people in any market, not only freight dispatching, but any business, most people aren't really making that much money because they're just having the same thoughts and the same ideas of what they already see in the market. So what I'm telling you guys is much level, like deeper business information, right? So that's why I'm telling you guys, literally take your Christ energy, take your thoughts and shoot it up. Increase it a lot more before you even get into the business, right? So think the bigger idea you think of, that's more energy, right? Now you're really getting the energy flowing by thinking of a bigger idea that you think of in your own mind, and then you get on video, you make posts, and you market that energy, you market that idea, right? So this is pretty much guaranteed. If you follow the advice that I'm giving you, you will succeed and you will make money in business. And that's why I don't like the question about how much money somebody has made in the past, or some of my other students, or how fast can you start making money? Because how fast you ask yourself, if you want to know how fast you're going to start making money in this business, that's the question that you have to answer. Because that question, that answer comes from exactly the idea that you think of. The better the idea, the faster you're going to start making money. The more money you're going to start making from the beginning, because the more people that's going to sign up with you, right? So the better idea you think of, and the more people you get that idea out to, is the faster, and the faster you're going to start making money, and the more money you're going to start making, right? And the money is unlimited. You think of a great idea, you offer guarantees, you think of, you network, you build a partnership with a CPA, and you offer CPA services to your owner operators, right? You think of that idea, then you think of a marketing plan to get that idea out to as many people as possible. Like say you got the guarantees, I'm going to increase your profit by at least 10%. You think of that idea, that's going to make you a lot more money and faster than someone just saying, hey, I'm a freight dispatcher, I offer the highest paying loads, I do all of your back office paperwork. Come on, which one is going to make money faster, right? So this is all on you. This is all on you. Where I'm at in my business, this just all came from me and the ideas I thought about and how fast I'm executing on the ideas, making them happen, doing what I know I need to do on a daily basis, right? So I say for you guys, have a plan, right? Going in even deeper. When you think of that idea to offer more value than what's already in the marketplace, right? When you think of that idea and then you write that idea down on paper as a plan, right? So now what you literally done is you took your thoughts, or you took your imagination. Now you're writing your imagination down on paper. So now you got what's abstract idea in your mind, and you got it wrote down on a piece of paper, right? So that's what a plan is. A plan is taking something imaginary, taking your faith out of your mind and writing your imagination, writing down what you see in your mind in the future and writing it down on paper as words, right? So that's why when you actually have a plan and you follow a plan, you take the idea about yourself in your mind and you work it out in the physical world. That's what following a plan does, right? So that's why people without a plan, they don't make it. But people who have a plan and then they implement their plan day in and day out, they get to where they're thinking originally in their head. So that's why in business and life, you start with the begin. you start with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind, right? So you think about and you imagine where you want to be at the end. You think of that big idea that's going to overtake the market, right? Or even that idea that's going to at least draw you in some owner operators. You don't have to, your goal should be always to dominate the market, but you don't have to dominate the market. Just an idea that actually attracts you clients, right? So you begin with the end in mind. You think about your business in the end as finished, and you think about not just one idea, several. Take out a piece of paper and pen. Write down all the ideas you can think of. So then, and you write that down on paper. So you think of stuff that's not in the market already, that hasn't been manifested basically into the world or basically manifested into the market, right? So that's the stuff you want to think of. You don't want to copy the market. You don't want to listen to somebody just talking about how the market is now. You think of that idea, you write it down as a plan, you figure it out, you plan how you're going to implement that idea, and then you actually follow your plan, right? So that's how you're going to arrive to the success and the money and the wealth that you want to. In the business, your dream business that you're dreaming about. You take that dream business and you write it down as a plan and you follow the plan, and then you're working your way towards that dream business, right? So you just got to think about the direction you want to go. But I'm going to end it tonight. Hey guys, if you guys got any more questions, just comment below. I'll come here later on and answer them. But I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. I'm going to end it. Hey, have a good one.